Hello, sweet kinder friends, it's Miss Jackson. So, I got a marvelous idea when I noticed the assignment that Ms. Bales attached to our art tab. I noticed it was talking about our hair, and I love our hair, it's amazing, but it made me think of, there's a job that I would love for us to all do, and it has to do with hair, and it has to do with possibly the most important thing about us, which is our name. So again, we usually spend a lot of time when we're in the classroom and it's just all of us, when we're here, I spend oodles and oodles and oodles of time on our name. Now that we're kind of far away from school right now, I'm kind of keeping that and waiting for that to come to when we do come into the classroom, which is going to be super soon. I know you're looking at those boxes and being like, is Miss Jackson leaving? And no, those are just some supplies that I need to find a home for. But on that note, like I said, I was thinking about the assignment that Ms. Bales had, and I was also thinking, gosh, I don't love the idea of you guys printing. I know that you have the capabilities of printing at home, but I kind of wanted to show you another job that we could do that spins off of what Ms. Bales was talking about, and you don't need anything but a white piece of paper. But before that, again, I was talking about how special our names are, and the book I want to share with you guys explains that our names are not just names. They don't just come out of a hat. It's one of the most important things that a mommy and daddy does is name their sweet little baby loves, just like you guys. There's a reason why they chose this very special name for you, and maybe you can sit down tonight and ask mommy and daddy or grandma and grandpa and think, how do you think you came up with the name that you came up with? And I bet you would love some of the answers that they have. What makes me think of this is a book that's called Alma and How She Got Her Name. Isn't she cute? I love her. I love her outfit. And I love that this also won an award for its beautiful illustrations. Illustrations are the beautiful pictures or the artwork that makes up your book. Alma Sofia Esperanza Jose Pierre Candela had a very long name, and it was too long if you asked Alma. So there she is writing her name. All of them. My name, Daddy, is too long. It never fits on the page, Alma said. Kind of like chrysanthemum, right? Oh, sweets, come, he said. Let me tell you a story on how you got your name. And then you can decide if it fits or if it's too long. Okay. Sophia was your grandmother, he began, and she loved books. Oh, she loved to read books. She loved poetry. She loved the smell of jasmine. She loved flowers. And you know what she loved the most? Me, your daddy. So think, if that's her grandma, and this is grandma who loves daddy more than anything, that must be daddy's mommy, right? She was the one who taught me how to read. Oh. Now, maybe the reason why I love my job so much is you really do have the most magical place in your heart for somebody that teaches you things that you're going to carry on for the rest of your life. So not only is that his mama, but she taught him how to read. Reading's a big deal. You're going to use it forever and ever and ever and ever. And I love to help your mommies and daddies teach you how to read. They are your first teachers, always. But I love to give you skills and love to give you some teaching tools so that you are going to be the best readers you can be. Daddy, I love books, I love flowers, and Daddy, I love you too. That's perfect. I am Sophia Esperanza. That was your great-grandmother, he continued, and she wished to travel all over the world. But Esperanza never ever left the city that she was born in. No. But her only son. He grew up to cross the 7 seas. Wherever her sailor son went, Esperanza went too, because she was in his heart. Esperanza. She always went, I want to travel so much, just like Esperanza. I wonder if they call her Espi. The world's so big, Daddy. I want to see it, Daddy. You and me together, we're going to be like Esperanza, and we're going to travel the world together, because I am Esperanza. Jose. Now, Jose was my father, so he is your grandpa. He was an artist. He was an artist with a big family, like many people back then. Early each morning, he walked to the mountains and the plazas, and he would paint everyday life. Sometimes I went along with him, and your grandfather taught me to see and love other people. Now, one thing that I think is so neat, and why I think artists are so magical, is I love sometimes the way that they see the world. Things that you and I think are everyday things, sometimes they can make them look so magical and so amazing. And I think that Daddy loved the way his daddy saw the world. Sometimes we see things differently. Oh, Daddy, I love it. I love to art too. And I love to wake up early every single day. I draw all the time, just like Grandpa. This morning, I drew a kitty cat, and I drew it for you, Daddy. I am like your daddy. I'm Jose. Piora was your great aunt. She believed that the spirits of our ancestors were always with us, watching over us. When you were born, she tied a red string around your wrist, and it was a charm to keep you safe. I love the way a spiritual person expresses themselves. Piora has major spiritual vibes inside of her body, and I find those to be very, very magical traits. I admire them when I see people that instill some of that beauty. Hello, Piora. Thank you for keeping me safe. Candela was your grandmother. She always stood up what was right. It's hard to think about this, but sometimes, even though you guys think, man, it is easy to do what's right, it's easy to stick up for what is correct, but sometimes it's harder, because sometimes not everybody feels that way. Sometimes when you feel like you have the only opinion on things, sometimes it's hard for us to get out there and be like, yes, we need to stand up for what's right. Like maybe standing up for getting us in the classroom, right? Shh, don't say I said anything. I am Candela, and I'm going to always stick up for what's right. Oh, Daddy, I just love the story of my name. Now, Daddy, I have one more part of my name. Alma. What is that about, Daddy? Where does that one come from? Who is that from? Well, my love, I picked that name, Alma, just for you. You are the first and the only Alma in our family, and you are going to make your own history. Alma Sofia Esperanza Jose Piora Candela. That is my name, and it fits me just right, because I am Alma and I have a story to tell. Oh, my sweet angels, so do you. Your name is so special. Your parents, the reason why it might take so long for us to have you babies is so that we can make sure that we really think about those special names. So when you say that your name's, my name's just Miss Jackson, no. It's the most special name. It's the most spectacular name. And I am the only Ms. Jackson. Well, I'm the only Ms. Kathleen Jackson. And I love my name, and I love everything that it stands for. And I hope that one day, just like Alma and her daddy talk about, I hope one day people think, I want to be like Ms. Jackson. I hope my sweet babies think that anyway. But anywho, let's get started with the job. So, if you've got a clear sheet of paper, that's all that you're going to need. I love, and you know how I feel about this, I love to kind of practice and get a really good feel of how much paper spacage I want. I am making a self-portrait, and I need to make sure that I have enough room for my hair. So right now I'm kind of eyeballing it, and I'm getting a feel for how big I want to make my circle for my face. Now, I'm using a pencil. I even use my fancy light in hopes that we can see pencil a little bit more, because I don't want to use marker for this job, and I'm going to show you why. So again, I'm going to get a nice feel for how big I want to make my face. Okay, so that's pretty good size there. Now I want to make sure that I'm able to see. And just like the artist in this book, who won an award for their beautiful artwork, I think I want to make eyes that look like Alma's eyes. Aren't they adorable? So they are a total circle, but what is on them is a little bit of shading. And I think I've mentioned that before with shading. So what I'm going to do right here is where I feel like I want to see my eyes is I'm going to make an arch. Okay, so let's see. I'm on my ball chairs, so it's kind of, I'm a little too tall for them. So for this, I'm going to make an arch like this. And I'm going to make it kind of dark. You're almost going to be like, oh, that looks like your eyebrow, Miss Jackson. But it's not going to be my eyebrow. And I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to really color it in. And then I'm going to push my hand so that a little bit of that a little bit of that pencil starts to push down. And where you start to see that push is where I'm going to very, very lightly, and again, I'm going to kind of pull us closer, and I'm just going to lightly start making that look a little bit more like a circle. And I'm not putting out hardly any pressure, hardly any muscles in there. So I'm going to go a little closer so you can really see that. And again, sometimes I feel like when I record, the lighting is just so funny. So then she's got a little bit of lashes going on that they push out right there. And then she's got a little eye. And then a little pupil. And then we shade in that. So, oops, made a little boo-boo. So I'm just going to use my eraser. And there we go. Now I'm going to do that same thing on the other side here. And then I'm going to go whoop, super lightly. I'm going to push. And then I'm going to go arch. And I'm going to shade in. And feel free to pause, okay? Feel free to pause on these parts. So you can always push the pause button. So there's my eyebrows. There's my eyes. I'm trying to look like, ooh, up there. For my nose, I'm just going to go ahead and do like a little slope. Make a little nose hole. Super happy face. And now, let's talk hair. On my hair, I want to write my name, because my name's so special, right? So for my hair, I'm going to write my name, Mrs. Jackson. And I'm going to write it kind of small, right? A little bit small there. I have a little bit longer hair, so I'm going to just keep writing my name till it's about the right length. Maybe I'll use different handwriting. Maybe I'll use all capital letters right here. Mrs. All cap letters, Jackson. Maybe I'll make it a little, I have bangs, right? So maybe I'm going to make my Mrs. go down like this. and Jackson. I'm gonna wrap it. Mrs. Jackson. And I'm just gonna keep on writing my name to make my hair. So, those of us who have shorter hair, this might not take you as long, huh? Maybe I'll do like little itty bitty, tiny whiny. Maybe I'll even squeeze another Mrs. Jackson in between. And I'm going to keep working on my job while you're working on your job. And I'm trying to not have such a glare. Let's put that light a little somewhere else. And I hope you guys can see this. Oh, the farther back I go, I guess a little bit better. Then you can take a little crayon and you can add a little detail in there. I'm going to keep working on mine, and then I am going to reveal mine with you. So it'll probably be the picture for the starting of the job. But have a great time, you guys. I hope you loved my story about Alma.